Body retrievals are never easy, you know, and every lifeguard deals with them differently.
Dealing with dead bodies is confronting. It's not a nice, glamorous part of the job.
No one likes it. Sometimes you just got to do it.
A fisherman has spotted a body in the water off Bondi's treacherous cliffs. No one can be sure if the person is alive or dead. Corey and young Troy head into the unknown. Within minutes, Troy and Corey make a grim discovery. Troy pushes a young man's body up onto the mat. Troy and Corey can do little but look after the body until police arrive.
This is the first time you've been with a patient like this?
Like this, yeah.
Yeah. How you going? You all right?
Yes.
Senior lifeguard and paramedic Bobby has been in Troy's position many times.
There's a few things you don't start recess on, and rigor mortis is one of them, right? So you don't try and do anything, don't think you're doing the wrong thing or anything. You're doing exactly the right thing, all right, buddy?
As rescue services stand by, lifeguards wait for a police launch to collect the body. Troy has now been looking after the dead man for 20 minutes.
Yeah, mate, do you have any today of when this boat come? We can't even see it come out of their heads yet.
Okay, Hoppo's just spoke to the police again. Up to 30 minutes, Corey.
All right, mate, copy that. We shouldn't bring this into the beach, should we?
Yeah, that's a negative. Police have asked for you not to bring them into Bondi.
In the middle of a body retrieval, Troy and Corey have just been told a 2.5 metre shark is circling. Troy moves to relative safety on the jet ski.
Waiting for the police boat. We've got the helicopter circling. Just keeping an eye on us. There was a pretty decent sized hammerhead shark out here before, so hopefully he keeps watching to see if it comes back again. But mate, Troy's doing a good job with the patient on the back, unfortunately.
After holding the man's body for 20 minutes, Corey relieves Troy.
We'll do a full debrief with everyone that's involved later on, and that brings out anyone that's a bit uncomfortable with it.
One-on-one's hard with the parents, mate.
Yeah.
I'll come with you for sure if they want to have a chat.
Thanks, heaps.
Chris, I remember like when we got that guy at the start of the year off Bronny,
Yeah.
the guy kept ringing Harries, the dad, and it was playing on his head heavily, you know.
Yeah.
It's a bit easier when we can all just sort of sit down and have a chat about it. So.
Thanks for that.
Okay.
After almost an hour, water police finally arrive.
Feeling just a bit upset that we didn't have a chance to help the poor guy. You know, we don't know the story behind it, but if he did fall off and accidentally and, you know, and he was conscious there for a while, I'm sure we would have had a good chance of getting him back, but I think it was just a bit too far gone. That's all we can do.
A little bit rattled, especially for Troy. That was his first sort of time that he's dealt with deceased patient, so a bit more concerned about Troy than myself, really.
You know, we've chosen this as a job. Everyone's aware of what can happen. You know what I mean? There's 100 different scenarios that can happen at Bondi Beach, from drownings to shark sightings to people falling off cliffs. You know, we deal with something different just about every day. So we're aware of what goes on, but that doesn't make it any easier when it actually happens.
I don't know, had no shoes, didn't seem like he had any ID.
Troy, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just your date of birth?
21st to the 12th, 1987. Yeah, after it I was still in a bit of shock for probably a couple of hours. Didn't actually really know what to feel like. I had so many things going through my head. Just, it's very, very horrific to go to a situation like that.
Troy will be offered counselling, but can also rely on the simple support of the lifeguard team. Police later revealed the man was Douglas Killen, 32, from DY on Sydney's northern beaches. He was last seen on the night of January 22nd. The suspected cause of death, drowning.
Bacon got a phone call from the police station just informing us about the body being off Marks Park in between Bondi and Tamarama.
I actually didn't even know that we were going to a body. I thought there was someone in distress out there.
Bondi Central, it's a body. He's dead for sure.
You do wonder what happened, how did this situation unfold?
You're sort of just going through the head, you know, did he jump, did he drown?
Got a bandage on his arm, fully clothed, probably about 50 years old.
There's definitely a little bit of emotion in there. You have those things, you're like, oh, I wonder if he had a family or a wife and something like that.
Body retrievals are one of those things you'd rather not do them, but we kind of do so many these days that it's kind of just part of the job.
We can see the police boat now.
The cops said there was no suspicious circumstances, so I guess that means that they've ruled out foul play.
Are you shaken up, Jake?
No, not really. I wasn't. Like, we just rolled him over when we got there and made
Did you roll him over?
Yeah, see if he was looking.
It's a big part of lifeguarding, and we can't sit there and dwell on what's happened, and this is a great way for us to move forward if we go to the next incident and we keep moving on, you know, and Jake dealt with it perfectly.
At 2 p.m, police contact the tower. A body has been reported off the cliffs.
Guys, we need to launch the ski. Call was from the police that they might have a body off the golf course and they want us to go around on our ski.
No one knows whether the person is dead or alive. Harries launches the jet ski.
You stay in the tower, mate. I'll get a tube on it. Mate, stay in the tower.
What's happened, just so I know?
Just there's a body in the, apparently around the golf course.
Reidy assigns trainee Jake to man the tower. A trainee wouldn't normally be given the responsibility of manning the tower, but there are just 3 lifeguards left to patrol Australia's busiest beach.
Hopefully it's not a person, but, you know, more than likely could be.
Not sure whether it's in the water. Police rescue has been called and on their way.
Lifeguards must assume the person is still alive, somewhere at the base of the cliffs. There's only one way to get there. But locating the victim means putting their own lives at risk. As Reidy finally makes it onto the rocks, police direct him to the reported location. Reidy hasn't been able to locate the body. Air and police rescue join the search.
They can't see the body, but they're assuming that it's on the cliff and the helicopter's hovering, so I don't think it's in the water. That's the latest update we've had. Nothing from the police yet.
Eventually, the victim is found. A deceased man.
Nothing to do with us now. It's like right up on the top of the land.
With police now in charge, lifeguards can return to the beach.
Yeah, they've declared the area a crime scene, so...
Copy. We're out. We're gone.
The man has been dead for some time, but lifeguards never make assumptions.
Only not too long ago, we did go around and the person was alive and, you know, we made the right decision to go in the water.
For trainee Jake, being thrown in the deep end was a challenge.
He had a massive role. He had to do probably 3 or 4 things at once.
Yeah, it would have been extremely stressful up in the tower. It's just a bit overwhelming. I had 2 phones ringing and I was contacting the helicopter and I was doing 4 or 5 things at once. My brain was just racing, you know.
We actually patrol 3 beaches. You've got Bondi, and then you've also got Tamarama and Bronte, just a little bit further south.
Yeah, but Bondi's Bronte.
We're in the tower and we get a call from Bronte over the radio.
Go ahead, Bronte. This is Bondi. Could you get the jet ski over here? We got someone right out the back of the pool and we're not sure what's going on, but there's someone trying to drag someone on a board. Jesse's heading out on a rescue board, but there's grab the jet ski just in case.
And he just noticed the guy run out there and he's waving. There's someone on the board trying to get him on a board, so it's pretty, could be a resus, we're not sure yet.
Johnny, did you see that signal that Jesse just gave you then?
Given a resus signal, mate. We got them. I'm down on the water's edge with a defib and Maxi on a board.
Get help, get back up, ring the ambulance, get everyone down here because we're in a very bad situation.
The last reports are that we've got an unconscious patient in the water, so the quicker we get there, the better off we are. It's 2 k's to Bronny, and we're going to have to fly to get there.
The boys are, mate, they're halfway to Mackenzie's Point on the jetty. The 2 Graham brothers are going to be arriving, so yeah, mate, that's it so far.
So we've just come around the point at Tamarama. We've gone flat stick, got Kobe on the back, we're bouncing over chops. We still don't know at this stage if the patient's dead or alive. As we approached Bronny, I could see the boys waving and we gradually eased off on the throttle. And when we pulled up, I just seen the look on their face. Their facial expressions were just like they'd been defeated. I knew that this person wasn't going to be alive.
Yeah, jet's going to follow central. Looks like we've got a deceased one, but we're going to bring him in.
That's sad.
Corley's face is bleeding really bad too.
Body retrievals are never easy, you know, and
It's all right, it's not a rush.
I tried to settle all the boys. I said, okay, you know, we had to make a call. We weren't going to work on this patient because he was obviously been in the water for a long time.
What about his other hand? Pass the other hand. No, his other hand.
You all right, Johnny?
Pretty much.
Fortunately enough, Robbo, the oldest lifeguard amongst us, made the decision to grab the body and bring it up onto the mat, and Kobe gave him a hand, and it wasn't a pleasant sight.
Jet ski to Bronny. Guys, can you organise a towel or something? We're going to have to cover the patient up. We bring him in.
Yeah, you know, it's a pretty emotional sort of thing, but you got to try and block them out so you can think straight and carry out the job as smoothly as you can.
He's got a rigger set here because it's pretty stiff, so he might have been there for a while.
The first person to come across the body was a young clubby from Bronte, Diego.
I saw the body floating. He's in the water. I started waiting for you guys here, but I couldn't see anyone, so I decided to put him on my board. I was just thinking about his family, his mom, his dad. Yes, it's pretty bad.
It wasn't a good sight, but this is what comes with our job. Sometimes we've got to do stuff like that.